Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam Ryan time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskin's high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much for joining in on 440 and Goals 20 millionth episode.
It feels like it.
What a year it's been. No, it's not really 20, but it sounded really good. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Good show tonight. I'm very excited to bring the folks on that we got coming on.
That's right.
It's going to be the head coach, Curtis Turner, assistant coaches, Devin Yates and Marcus Parker. Maybe, quote unquote.
The operative word.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see how that one flows here in the next 10 minutes or so. But, yeah, thanks for joining the show tonight. But, yeah, we got the Herald varsity basketball joining us tonight. Don't forget Friday night, varsity girls basketball head coach Nick Irochi will be on with us. So,
yeah, it's beginning of Herald's week. You know, each week, each school is going to get a week. We are playing catch up with one school. We're going to figure that out. But last week was Edgewood week. This week is Herald week. I'm super excited about this. We've got, a lot of different personalities, different perspectives on basketball, and you're going to get a really in-depth and a great look at some really great programs from the area.
Yeah, for sure. So we started out with Lakeside 2 weeks ago. We hit Edgewood last week, and now we're getting kind of a different flavor with St. John. First week it was real awesome because we got one of the newer coaches in the area, in Matt Newsome. Then we get a bit of a more experienced guy in John Bowler, and now we're getting kind of a guy that we grew up watching, and who has been a vet of St. John in Coach Curtis Turner. So it's kind of cool how like everything's kind of flowing right now, and we're getting different perspectives on basketball, like you said, Sam. I'm super pumped for tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great. I really do. I think it's going to be a great week. I think it's going to be a great show. This is one of my favorite things to do. We get to highlight these kids. We get to highlight these programs. There's a lot of kids doing a lot of work right now behind closed doors because they don't have coaches able to blow the whistle in their ear. Because of this awesome virus that has decided it's going to change the way, we live. So one of the cool things you're going to get is from the coach's perspective on what's going on and how they're pivoting and making their programs and trying to keep them successful. St. John is one of 3 or 4 schools in the area that is actually not going to be playing until later on in this month. So no practices and stuff like that because of the COVID restrictions. So, there's hurdles there. There's hurdles because it's a smaller school, and there's a lot of stuff that I really can't wait to talk to Curtis and Devin and Marcus because it's St. John gives you a very unique point of view when it comes to basketball around here. And one of my favorite things is when you overlook St. John, a lot of times they hit you in the mouth.
Yep. Yeah, that is true.
It's one of the more storied programs in the county. Historically, St. John always had good showings. I mean, they always adapted. It was always a dynamically changing program. And now, we kind of get to see a whole new look, it seems. And I'm super pumped to see the knowledge that Coach Turner, Coach Yates, and hopefully, being the operative word, Coach Parker gained hard on us tonight. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, very excited to see those guys. But how was the past 2 days? What was a weekend, right?
Yeah, that was the weekend.
Tuesday. So I got to say this. We don't bring it up very often, but they're 9-3. Putting it out there. I got to put it out there. We try not to dive too much into pro sports, but I got to say something about our Browns. Honestly, yeah, I mean, we say it all the time without saying anything. I get where you're going with that one, but 9-3, first winning season since I think it was 2007 or something like that.
Yeah, the first time we're going to guarantee one since 2007.
So yeah, chasing for the AFC North. There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Listen, I had to eat crow on Sunday.
Yeah.
I have been a pretty verbal and a pretty outward. I won't call him a Baker hater because I don't hate him. Hate implies I don't want him to do good. I'm going to say I'm a Baker pessimist. I just don't believe he can do good. But he really proved otherwise on Sunday. It was a great win against another 8-3 team. So I don't care if they beat the Washington Generals 8 times. They have 8 wins. So it's a quality, that's a quality win. That other team that wears black and gold managed to take a big fat L, which made that win even better.
They got caught slipping.
They got caught flipping. Leg.
Yeah.
The quarterback literally has one leg. I mean, God bless the guy.
It's been a good week. You know what I mean? All the, COVID-19 beat Michigan this week, so they're going to take 2 L's.
Hey, can I just say, I love watching the Browns on Sunday, but my favorite thing about Sundays is like right after the first drive, I get a ding on this cell phone.
Yeah.
Sammy or Ryan. I'm not even watching the game. We just got our group chat going. I think we had like 340 messages in that thing. And Megan,
we go at it.
Text me, what the hell did Sammy say now?
Yep.
Listen, I pretty much, for those of you, if you've ever seen the movie Major League, Randy Quaid's character in that movie is virtually my life. All right, he spends the whole movie dogging them. Mind you, he doesn't miss a game. All right, he is a diehard fan. He spends the whole movie talking junk on him, and then finally he gets beat into submission, and then he comes back around.
Oh man, yeah, it was a fun weekend though. Man.
So hold on, Rich. I see you popping up here. I never said anything bad about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, Sammy
absolutely
was totally guilty on it. Totally guilty.
Yeah.
I'm the one that was defending him, letting everyone know that 3 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators in 3 years. He's been a rookie 3 years in a row. So that was me.
Sweden. I was Sweden. I was neutral. I was neutral the whole time.
Oh, imagine that. You were neutral.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's all right, but hey, at the same time, I mean, he does make some mistakes, but Tim Duncan never made mistakes. I'll tell you that.
No, don't even start. I seen your boy Vic was on Sunday Night Football.
Baker is only 1 interception away from a tirade that is so terrible that George Carlin would blush. Yeah. So don't get comfortable. He is on the definition of thin ice.
I think the guy's thrown for like in the past 2 games like 700 yards and 6 touchdowns, and Sammy's worried about 1 interception. That's what he's worried about. And, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He could have thrown for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2 games. He throws that 1 pick. It's all over for him, boys.
Listen, at this point, as well as they're doing, and we kind of discussed this on Sunday, I almost feel like I have to keep talking junk on him.
Yeah,
right. That's what I put out there. I said that to Sammy via Facebook Messenger or whatever it is, and I said, I feel like you're just continuing to do this in hopes that it continues to bring success for the Browns.
If it ain't broke.
You don't got to fix it.
And I can't sit here and lie because obviously, you see I got jerseys in the background. I got all kinds of T-shirts. I don't put a T-shirt on Sundays at all. I'm always in something that represents nothing of the Browns. Just a black T-shirt with the old man cloth swishy short things. That's it. That's it.
On Sundays, I love seeing them win, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, there is a part of my heart that just hurts, and I have to, like Sammy, your daughter has like that little blankie that she holds onto when she's sad. You know what I mean? I've got my OBJ Color Rush jersey, man, that I just like snuggle because I'm like, man, I wish you were here, bro. Like, I miss you.
You might as well sell that thing now while you can get some money while he's still on the team. Yeah, see if you can return it to the NFL fan shop to get something new. They might let you.
I'm sure it's going to be white and green next year. Him and Sam Darnold will be lighting it up.
Yeah. So
Him
actually,
will be killer.
We got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes until advertisement. We're going to go this route just because it's something different. Your guys' thoughts? OBJ getting traded next year? Will he be traded?
Without a doubt, in the offseason, especially if we make the playoffs, which I think we're pretty much a lock. The problem is what are we going to get for him? And I don't think it's anything but picks.
Okay. I think we're going to trade him. I think we are. I think we're going to trade him to a team like San Francisco. I think we're going to get some picks for him, maybe a safety. And that next Tuesday show, COVID's over. Ryan and Sam are going to be over here holding me as I weep because I'm going to be weeping, just crying. Like, I'm going to miss that dude. I love him. I really do. When he's in that Drake music video and he goes, baby, it slays me every time.
He says one word and that's it?
Gets me. Just one word. That's all you got to say. I feel like he's talking to me. When he goes, baby.
We got John out there sending some fire that we need to trade him away for a safety, like you guys said, but I'm going to completely disagree with trading away for safety. We should have Grant Delpit healthy next year. He tore his ACL at the beginning of the year, if I recall right. Right, he can be, but we have a good secondary when healthy. We have not been healthy. Our weakest link, and it's been the weakest link since we started the season, is the linebacking core. Mac Wilson is developing. Taki's had a couple good plays. He had a pick 6 2 weeks ago. But
Andrew Sendejo is the worst football player in the NFL.
Oh, I hate it that I have to agree with you at this point, but I am because I loved him when he first started because he was either going to light you on fire. He is the equivalent to Jim Thome of football. He's either hitting a home run or striking out. That is it. There is no in between. There's no getting a first, a baseball hit.
This is a Hispanic household. Sendejo has a completely different name on Sunday in this household.
Different letter? Is he ever replaced with a different letter, Sam?
Yes.
Okay. 2 things about Andrew Sendejo. 1, he's got Brian Bisbee hair. Shout out to BPB. Second, I can think of a semi-professional football player that we know that I would rather have than Andrew Sendejo right now.
But anyways, so anyway, yes, OBJ gets traded, picks, and maybe a linebacker from somewhere. I know it's got to be the defense is going to be on Andrew Berry's target in his crosshairs this offseason coming up. So, but 8:44, folks. I know everyone's on here to see us. Yeah, right. We're gonna go ahead and hit our advertisements real quick, and then we're gonna bring on the coaches of the St. John Heralds boys basketball team. See you guys here in a couple minutes.
Tri-Fin Charters, Northeast Ohio's premier multi-species guide service. Captain Mark Diedrich is here to set up your trip of a lifetime. Catfish, walleye, steelhead, crappie, perch, and more. Mosquito Lake, Lake Erie, Ohio River, or even Pymatuning Reservoir. Tri-Fin Charters, where dreams become reality. 440-228-5744.
440 and Gold proudly welcomes Play All Awards and Engraving. Awards, they do them all at Play All, from trophies to plaques to all other things celebration. Playall has 2 on-site laser computerized engraving machines, as well as thermal imaging equipment. Playall has been locally owned and operated since 1993. Check them out at playallamerica.com or check out their Facebook page at Playall Awards and Engraving. Visit Playall at 4542 Main Avenue in beautiful downtown Ashtabula, Ohio. 440 Gold proudly presents Trilogy Cabinets and Design. Planning a small remodel or building your dream home? From a single display case to cabinetry throughout the entire home, Trilogy Cabinets and Design can help make your vision a reality. Their quality and designs are second to none and are often more affordable than other custom options. If you can dream it, Trilogy Cabinets and Design can build it. Contact Trilogy Cabinet and Designs at 814-683-4511. 440 Gold presents Made in Ohio. Made in Ohio makes custom t-shirts, hoodies, banners, jerseys, and more. With the fastest turnaround time in Ashtabula, 440 Gold is proud to have Made in Ohio as its official Player of the Week sponsor. Contact Made in Ohio at 440-964-9057 or visit Made in Ohio at 1028 Bridge Street in beautiful, historic Ashtabula Harbor. Also, check Made in Ohio out on Facebook for upcoming Black Friday sales for the holiday season. All right, welcome back. Only ads you're going to see tonight. Don't worry. Don't get all upset that you're seeing the ads. We got to run something. But anyways, without further ado, let's bring the boys in blue and white on, the St. John Herald's varsity basketball coaches. Here come Mr. Curtis Turner, Mr. Devin Yates, and Mr. last but not least, here to have a good time, Marcus Coach Parker.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
How you guys doing tonight?
Great. How's everybody doing?
Good. It's Tuesday, our favorite night of the week.
Yep. Well, other than Friday, because we know we're off the next 2 days. But at least me and Sammy are. I should say Tom's got to work on Saturday. But
I do. You guys need a car?
just say no. Just say no.
I got employee pricing on Chevy Buick and GMC right now. Don't get this on.
Oh man.
Hey man, if you had a caddy on some 20s, but they look like 10s, I know it.
Here we go.
Yeah, I got Jenna Barnes one of those.
Yep, you see, sir. There you go. You see it right here live. No, but honestly, super happy to have you guys on here. Coach Curtis, Coach Devin, Coach Marcus, you guys are, the leaders in this program right now. You guys are helping these kids try and get together a unique basketball season this year. For Curtis, Curtis and Devin, you guys have been doing this for a while. Curtis, you've been doing this for a while. Marcus, you're getting your taste in with the second year. It's really a bit of a different year. So we're going to go into kind of some of the things you guys are having to overcome this year, some of the pivots you have to make. But the first thing that we typically like to do is introduce the entire 440 and Goal audience to you guys as coaches and as men. Coach Curtis, I'm going to start with you. If you can kind of just give us a little bit of a background on your coaching career, how it came to be, and how you came to be where you're at.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a Ashtabula High grad. Go Panthers. I went to Lake Erie College. I played basketball for Lake Erie College. I've been at St. John for going on 15 years now. And the crazy thing about it, when I started in 2006, I learned from some great coaches, Tom Penna, Clemens, Dan Sposito. I mean, those kind of guys kind of got me into really wanting to coach. I started off at the junior high level and kind of worked my way up. And I actually turned down the job of head varsity basketball coach 2 times before I actually took it when John Hall
John Hall Sr. retired back in 2016. And actually, I learned so much from John Hall. It was, Tom Penna, John Hall, like I learned John Hall Jr. Those guys like really like paved the way for me. So, I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for those guys.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. One of the things I think that is most unique, not unique, but really a great thing that St. John has going for them is even though that the building has physically moved from one part of Ashtabula to another, all of the legend and all of the history and everything still holds very much true. The involvement with the St. John community still, everybody like that once a Herald, always a Herald really still holds true. So with guys like Tom Penna and Sposito and those guys, it's really you're learning from greats not only there but in the community. So the next person I want to kind of talk about here a little bit is Devin Yates. You are an assistant coach on this staff, been here for a while too. This is your first rodeo. If you want to talk a little bit about your journey into coaching, where it started, where, kind of how you've been up and down, where you've gone and how you've been.
Oh yeah. So I've been to St. John for about 6 years, started in 2014 at the junior high level. Assistant coach for Paul Bodner. A legend out here too.
Yeah.
Coach. And then I did that for 1 year, then transitioned to the high school level after the first year. But it was all because of Curtis. He reached out and got me in there. And it's been a joy ever since. Great kids, great parents, excellent staff from the top to the bottom. So no complaints in that area. Great kids again, but it's just been a journey and it's fun every year. It's like a new challenge every year, so it's great.
Yeah, it's really that's awesome. It really is awesome. This is one of the coaching staffs. I know every one of these guys. At some point, I knew every one of these guys when I was growing up. At some point or the other.
Hey, in high school, I called you Big Sam, and you called me Lil Dev.
Yeah,
makes total sense. I get it. I totally understand it.
Listen, we're like that cartoon with the dog. Big dog and little dog running around. And then, obviously, last but not least, my guy, Coach Parker, Mr. Parker. Welcome to the show again. If you want to talk a little bit about how you got involved in coaching, at a high school boys level.
It's crazy when I started last year. Me and Curtis was actually on the same team in a basketball league at the Y. After we won a championship, Curtis was like, hey man, I want to coach. And how my work schedule was, I was like, I got the time. I've been coaching for a minute. Curtis knows I've been coaching for a minute. So I was like, I'm definitely there too. So why not give it a shot? Like, I was nervous coming in because, like I told you guys before, the only person I knew was Dante. So I was like, man, this is different. Like, I'm not coaching little kids no more. I'm coaching, men, young men. So it's pretty cool, man. I love it, and I'm happy Curtis brought me along. So it's a fun journey, guys. Fun journey.
It is. It's a great staff. One of the things we've seen, I get to see. So for those of you guys watching, Ryan and myself, both of our children go to St. John, so we get kind of a little, kind of an insider look, I guess, at how the kids are because, we get to see how they react with these coaches, and we get to see, the smiles when they make the shot, and we get to see the frowns when they have to run extra line drills. So, Curtis, you've got two great men on here on your staff, but if you could just kind of go a little bit further and talk about the rest of the staff because St. John as a basketball program is a program going all the way down to the 7th grade level. So if you could just talk a little bit about some of the other guys that are on your coaching staff.
Oh, absolutely. I got Jacob Artman, who graduated about I think 2 years ago. He's gonna do some volunteer work for me this year. He is very excited. He actually got a hold of me during the summer or during the fall and asked me if he could join the staff, and I'm like, Like I had second doubts about it at first, just because I mean him being young, like would the kids respond to him? And I think after I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's around their age group. They'll listen to him. Like a lot of the guys will listen to him. So him, then down in my junior high level, I got another former player of mine, Jonathan Manier, who is running my 8th grade. Who, I mean, my 8th grade is they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they're solid.
They're going to be pretty good. And then I got Moses as my 7th and 6th grade coach. So I mean, I got a great staff all the way down. Like in the past, I hadn't been really as much involved with my junior high as I should be, as I should have been. But like this year, I really invested my time to making sure that it's all the way from the bottom up, like it's all the way from 6th grade to 12th grade, that we're all on the same page, and just kind of instilling in them a brotherhood, that once they come to the high school level, that it translates to them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they say that you have to water the plants in the spring if you want to eat in the fall, and that's
absolutely,
you know, that's what you're doing with those 7th grade and 8th grade. That 8th grade team, for those of you guys watching, the 8th graders coming up next year are going to give you guys a little bit of a check.
Well, that, and I mean, a lot of times 9th graders are playing basketball. I'm guessing that's what you're referring to, Sammy.
Yeah.
Like they're playing varsity level. You know what I mean? It's
yes,
most of the time football, you don't see 9th graders at the varsity level. Very, few and in between. But I wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on, Ryan. Before you go, and I'm going to let you go on this, I just want to give a quick story on Jacob Artman. He is one of the first time I saw that guy playing for St. John, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Because he's this tall, skinny guy, and I remember he had like a man bun like Tom used to have. And then he reached up and dunked the ball and almost ripped the rim off the backboard. And I said, oh, okay. I get it. I get it now.
Hey, man.
Honestly, I'm just kidding around. But he was a phenomenal player for St. John. So, you know, that's really a great addition for St. John. I'm sure the kids are going to look up to him because he probably dunked on a couple of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just great. No. So what I wanted to get into a little bit, really, I think Marcus actually said it yesterday. I'm kind of the prep guy, halftime, that kind of stuff. So, what you're doing before the season. So right now, obviously, we got the COVID restriction everyone's fighting with, except for a few schools in our area. How are you guys doing conditioning right now? I mean, I know I don't think practice started yet, right?
No, it hasn't. It'll start for us December 21st.
Okay, so
we'll be allowed to practice again.
13 days? Yeah, 13 days away, almost 2 weeks. So what are you guys doing now with the kids, trying to get them, I guess, motivated and, doing the right things while you guys can't be with them?
Well, I sent out a text to some of my kids, and whether they use it or not, we'll find out when that first practice come around. And I gave them like things that I wanted them to do daily. And like I said, whether they do it or not, we'll soon find out. But the good thing about St. John kids is that they play dual sports during a season. So when it comes to conditioning is not really an issue with them. Like like football, you have some guys playing football and soccer. So like I got some guys on my team that love to run anyway. Like, so I mean, yeah, conditioning is not a huge thing for me. But what I did decide to do, actually, I'm going to start this up on Thursday, since I'm not able to see them in person. Like I'm going to have a Zoom session and just go over plays, like defensive plays, offensive plays, just so that when we come back and actually on the court, we can kind of pick up where we left off, like so we're not so far behind.
Okay, gotcha. And then when is your guys' first official game?
That's still yet to be determined. I think be honest with you, I think it's January 4th.
Okay.
I think it's January 4th against St. Martin at St. Martin. St. Martin de Porres in Cleveland, Ohio.
All right.
Okay.
So one of the things that conditioning, it's still it is a necessary evil, and every team's got to condition a little bit. And like you said, that first practice is going to let you know who was doing dips and who was dipping chips. But
Right.
the kids, there's always, especially when you have a coach.
I've been dipping
like
chips.
you guys together. Listen, I was a chip dipper because I got caught every first practice. They knew. But no, there's always one coach that when he's in charge of the conditioning for either the day or the drill, that the kids are like, here we go. Which one of that is? Who owns that role?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I think it kind of all depends on what we're doing at that time. Like, we try to have kids in any drill that we do. We try to have them like make sure that they're running to whatever drill we're doing. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I learned from Coach John Hall that instead of running the kids not a purpose, just put them in drills that are going to get that same conditioning out of them, so that you're not just doing it. They understand why they're doing it, why they're running.
I was going to say, and that's what I think the past coach came on. His big thing was, instead of just drilling the heck out of them, I think they're called 7-in-1s. I'm not 100% sure. But instead of just like, hey, hit it, 7-in-1s, just making drills that give the same amount of conditioning value, but with a ball in their hand instead. So that's different. But there's still got to be. Last time, and I'll leave it go with conditioning, because there's got to be one drill though that you guys just start salivating over. Once you know it's that time, is there one drill where you guys are like, "Yep, I can't wait to watch this one happen"?
No, because guys fake injuries. So
hey, listen, SJS is getting put on blast. Guys fake injuries. So, all right, here, let me rephrase it.
So you can't discipline them with running because they run nonstop. We get so mad, like, all right, running's not making you tired. So like Coach said, man, we're gonna put you on this drill. Now you're gonna be tired. Now you mad at us. So Curtis gets the blame. Yeah, since the answer your question, Ryan, Curtis.
I'll definitely take the blame. And I'm like, this year I'm a little bit softer on these guys just because of everything going on. Like, when I first started, like, I used to run guys just until there was buckets, like garbage cans, and honestly, like, guys just went off to the side and we just kept running. So like after games, depending upon how much we lost by, we would run. So I've grown since then. I don't run them as much.
What's up, Charlie Taylor? Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
So you talked about conditioning. These guys, and you are right. St. John being such a small school, with limited, I guess, limited amount of people in there is going to limit the amount of athletes you're going to have out there. So these kids are being split up amongst other programs, like football and soccer. And these kids are in really great shape without having to kill them conditioning wise. But how does that kind of turn into on the basketball side? So my big thing is I always wonder what kind of defense, what's the defensive mindset? Is it pressure? Are you meeting the teams at half court, or are you letting the teams kind of dictate through their strengths how you're going to defend them that day?
I think we dictate. We let depend upon what they do. It's how we'll match it. I would love. I grew up when I was at Ashtabula and we pressured everyone. So I grew up on that. So it was kind of a change for me, like coaching wise. Like sometimes you have the guys to do it, and then sometimes you don't. So what I teach them most is them just being disciplined. If we're gonna pressure, they have to be disciplined when we do it.
Okay. Yeah, pressure bursts pipes and makes diamonds. That's what it does.
Absolutely.
So to Coach Yates and Coach Parker, Obviously, you know assistants on the team, but we'll go Coach Yates first. Are you more of an offensive role player or more of a defensive role? So offensive role coach or defensive role coach?
I try to be a mix. I know on a JV level, I like to press a lot. For the simple fact that offensively they're still young, and our sets don't get run the right way sometimes. So we try to do pressure so we get our defense to create offense for us. Okay. And yeah, that helps our momentum a couple years ago and last year. So I really like pressing and like having a good defensive front. And then that's my stance on it. I think Coach Parker more offensive guy than me.
Trying to make it rain.
Yeah.
So Coach Parker, what, are you more offense, more defense?
Yeah, I'm more offense. I'm a guard, so I'm about ball handling and protecting the ball, facilitating, making sure you're getting your players open, getting them the ball. If you can score, but keep control of that ball. If anything, at the varsity level, it's fast. So, players are bigger, faster, stronger. They'll trap you instantly if they can. So, you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart with the ball. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick with the ball as well. So, I'm definitely more offensive minded.
Right.
I like the razzle, cross you up, take your ankles.
Right.
I'm getting some players into there, but we'll get there.
Yeah, Marcus, I'm glad you brought that up because each one of you guys, just from knowing you personally, has a style about your game of how you play basketball and certain things that you guys are better at than others. And like with you, Marcus, I know it's that true guard play, that ball handling, distribution, the shooting the rock type of deal. So do you find yourself kind of focusing on that with these players, especially the young guys, because young guards tend to get frazzled very quickly in the importance of the ball handling? Do you kind of focus on that?
I do, but also play off of Coach Curtis. If he sees something in the players that he needs, that they need to work on, then that's what I'm on. I'm making sure that's under control. We get that together. Is that better, Coach? Yeah. Hey, we're gonna keep working on it. Coach Dev, the same thing. Hey, man, Dev got a little bit of moves, but me being a guard, I could do it better. I could do it better.
I'm a better passer than Marcus. I'll tell you that.
This is another great thing that you get with having a coaching staff, youthful, because you guys, all things considered, are a younger coaching staff. Still very active in playing basketball in your off time and stuff. When the 10 minutes that you get free.
Marcus practices with the kids every day. He goes hard. He goes hard. He be playing like
he does.
West Side Shootout.
Listen, that's gonna prep those kids for those tough games.
Yeah.
But, Devin, you really one of the things I remember about you and what you established yourself is a true post presence. Not just a bully down there, but really technique with footwork and stuff like that. So is that something you see yourself kind of focusing on? Putting a lot of time and effort in there, kind of, I guess, perfecting with the posts and with them, because St. John, some years they've got big, some years they've got littles that got to play big.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the sad thing about this year, because when we were practicing, we had a couple injuries, and so we had to focus on other players a little more. And when we were working on our posts, we were making really good progress with the guys we did have. And they're pretty raw guys, but they were making great progress. And like as a post player, a lot of people don't know that the most important thing to be a great post player is your footwork. Like once you get that down, the sky's the limit. And then we were working on our footwork and then touch. Because, in a post, you can't just go in there and feel like, unless you're a dominant big man, you don't have a go-to move. You have to be able to read the defense and see what's happening. So we work on that post, the footwork, and then our touch, what type of shots we do, hook shots, off the bank, off the glass. So we were making really good progress. And even we had a day where we did a knockout tournament. And, we had our big guys shooting threes, but they were able to get their rebounds and actually make their first shot off that layup because they were working on their touch. So, man, we were making great progress, but now with the COVID and everything, we got to kind of start back at square one. But hopefully they retain that information and we can make some progress. But yeah, it's a lost art, especially in the game now. Post isn't really, it isn't, that
Yeah, I was
popular.
just going to ask that, Coach. I was, if you don't mind, I'm going to interject here, Ryan and Sam. Coach, I wanted to ask you real quick because I know, they Sam and Ryan. I'm a little bit younger than them, so I didn't get to watch you play in high school. But from what I've heard, you were a very good guy in the post, teaching post play and everything. Now, I mean, it's no secret now though that big men are a little bit different now. I mean, you got guys like James Wiseman, you got guys like Bol, Nikola Jokic, all those guys. And I mean, they ain't in the post, bumping all the time anymore. They're out there, they're shooting the three. I mean, so how are you implementing that into the high school game? Are you staying more traditional, or are you kind of going more modern with it too?
I think we keep. Go ahead, Marcus.
I think it's about matchup. One thing we don't really have is a lot of height. So if we're playing a team that's just long, hey man, we got to go with our best long players. You know what I mean? We can't just go out here small balling it and be able to just shoot threes and can't get to the bucket. If we were bigger, faster, stronger, it'd be different. We could play what we want to play and make them play our game. I'm not saying that they don't play our game, but we play a numbers game, so you gotta kind of play matchups. But once we get momentum, then we can do what we want. Because man, we got some deadly boys, man, and they're young and they're gonna get a lot of experience as time goes. I think it's a matchup.
And that's really one of the things you deal with as a smaller school. You kind of have to adapt. You have no choice but to adapt. There is no such thing as a concrete system. And Coach Turner, Coach Curtis, you during your playing days played a lot of three. That wing type of player, which the wing in basketball, the three is kind of the catch-all. You play a little guard, you put a little time in the game, you do a little bit of everything. So is that kind of how you are focusing, where you're trying to get these kids as well-rounded as possible before they get specialized into something?
Correct. And I think that when it comes to our kids, they should be able to play all positions, because in our offense, it's going to be all positions. I mean, you might catch it down in the post one time and have to be able to make a post move. So like we have to kind of be versed in what we do. I mean, I played three when I was in high school, and it was a little bit different every time I went out there to play small forward. But when I was in college, I played post. So I got some work in the post as well. So I'm familiar with it from the guard standpoint. I'm also familiar with it from the poise standpoint. So, and I want our players to be the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I would like our post to be a 3-level scorer. That's gonna be from the outside, mid range, and the inside. But I tell my kids this, and I don't know if Coach Curtis agrees with it, but I tell them a bad shot is better than a turnover in my book. So
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So like there's some guys when you get the ball, and I hope he don't shoot it, but he go ahead.
Yeah,
But,
I know that guy. What I was curious about. So, are you guys more of an up-tempo type offense then?
This year I wanted to be. I mean, like was said earlier, we had some injuries that kind of derailed it. But I still think that we can still do. I mean, we'll run as much as the game dictates it. I'm going to always encourage them. Like when the ball comes off, like I wanted to run every time a rebound happened, every time a turnover. I mean, I wanted to run all the time. I even talked to some of the guys in the summer, and I'm like, I hope you guys are ready because I want to run all the time. And then we had some injuries that kind of like put us back a little bit. But I still think that we can do it at times. But then there's going to be times where, and I've even talked to my point guard this year, where he has to be able to slow the ball down and make the best play for us. And I think that at this year, he's a senior this year, he'll be able to do that.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Who are some of the guys that we're going to be looking forward to that are going to be wearing the Herald uniform this year to make noise on the court.
This your team, Kurt.
I'm gonna say
you had these boys all 4 years. These your boys. These your boys.
Listen, Marcus, I don't want to answer the question.
If I had to say, I had a very senior-led team this year. I had two setbacks when it came to David DeSalvador and David Fuentes, who was two of our leaders this year.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Going to be getting surgeries here soon. They're going to be out for the year. So, that kind of made me think a little bit. So I had to develop some other people, and I think Dylan Carpenter, Dan Miller. There's going to be a heavy dose of those two. Lucas Wychuk, who will move into the starting role. In the past 2 years, he hasn't started. He's more came off the bench. So I think he'll step up, and I think that one of my sleepers. My whole team, I think, can be sleepers. But the one guy that I think that could really, really excel is Andrew Williams. I think Andrew Williams has the talent to do it. We just got to get it in the right direction. And then for one of my younger guys, I got a talented freshman crew. But one of my talented guys from my freshman crew is Omar West, who I think will really, really probably help the program out a lot, actually. So, we actually might, to be honest with you, we might have different guys, not only just playing varsity, but we might have different guys dressing varsity all this year. There's not going to be a really strict thing when it comes to all these guys are playing varsity. We're always making an open competition, because that's how I was brought up. We always make it that, hey, you having a good practice, you want to take somebody's spot, this is what's going to happen. You can do that. So I think that it makes the guys competitive as well. But those guys that I mentioned you'll be seeing a heavy dose of those guys.
Yeah, I think people can confuse sometimes transition year with we're laying down. Transition year means we're going to beat you. We're just going to change the way we beat you.
Absolutely. We're going to be competitive. We're going to go out there and play. The one thing about me, and I know I'm not the only coach in the county in Ohio or whatever. I hate losing. I obviously I know kids are out there to have fun as well, but I want them to understand that we can play with anybody that's out there.
Absolutely.
And I think when we start believing it, and when we're telling them that, they'll start believing the same thing.
So one of the questions, and this is a question for every coach, and we asked this, and I might be stealing Sammy's thunder, but he's been stealing mine tonight, so I don't care. So listen, there's always that one, everyone wants to win every single game. We all know you do. You don't want to lose nothing, whatever, 27-0. I don't know how many games are in the season, but enough. What game is double circled? And, we're going to start with Coach Parker, then go over to Yates, and then to end with the head coach, Mr. Turner. So, Coach Parker, if you had to double circle a game, which one are you putting your stamp on?
Every team in the county.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I was kind of hoping for one, but I guess we'll go that route.
No, we played every team but Lakeside last year, and we lost to them all. So I want you guys all back. We played them at every gym last year, so now they all got to come to us. So I want all you guys. I want them all.
Right. Okay.
I want all the smoke.
I want all the smoke.
All the smoke.
Coach Yates.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a safe answer too. I want to beat Conneaut. So that's
Listen, when we get Coach Tallbacka onto the show and we interview Conneaut, we got to talk to them about because they've been circled on like 3 different shows.
Yeah.
Conrad's got a rough year ahead of them.
They have actually.
Yeah. We just want to win that game, man. I remember 3 years ago, it was a Saturday game. And we won on a buzzer beater on a Saturday. It was crazy. I was coaching in flip flops, man. It was just wild. We won that game. It was crazy. So it was just like I want to feel that experience again.
So you got to elaborate before we go to Coach Turner. Flip flops?
Yeah.
I mean, look at you look from the little camera I'm seeing. You look nicely dressed. Well, I can't imagine that you don't have a pair of tennis shoes for a basketball game.
Let me elaborate. They were house shoes.
Yeah, they were house shoes.
Yeah, everybody understand what house shoes are. Yeah.
I mean, did something happen on the way to the game? Did you get your shoes jacked?
No, like I'm just comfortable in house shoes, and it was a Saturday. It was Saturday too, so yeah. And then I was going from daddy mode to coach mode, so that's all.
Yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing worse than getting beat by somebody in house shoes.
I'm telling you.
Promise you that.
I can agree. My mama beat me in house shoes when I was a kid.
Yes. Oh no, he did not say that.
She can hoop too. So don't let that play, man. Dad's mom was big and she could.
Yeah.
Just learning all kinds of new stuff, week in and week out, baby. So, Mr. Coach Curtis Turner, if you're gonna double circle the game, which one you double circling?
Well, I mean, I'll agree with both of those. I mean, I'll take. I want to win every game. Like you guys said. But if I had to circle one, but that game's not even created yet, and that would be Fairport.
Okay.
They beat us twice last year in the regular season and going into the tournament, the first round of the tournament last year. But that game's not created yet. But so who's on my schedule right now? I would have to say Conneaut. I would definitely have to say Conneaut. I mean, that's my old coach. So it's
salute to Tom.
It's great to beat your old coach.
Yeah, that's one thing that Coach Tim Tallback out there in Conneaut has got going for him is, soon enough, Coach, you'll be seeing this too, Coach Turner, when your players start to coach against you. It's a little bit of a different, it's a different look. It's a different look.
Absolutely.
So I was just thinking about, and I probably should have asked this during football season because I honestly don't know. I mean, there's a little bit of a, I guess the rivalry between Fairport and
a little.
But right, when speaking of football coaches, anyways, how did and hopefully you guys can answer this, but how did that come about? I mean, I'm just thinking. They're out west. We're out east. You know what I mean? Does anyone know that how that came about?
I don't know. Like even from when I played back in like '96, like it was still like St. John and Fairport was still a thing. So I mean, it's been going for a long while. So I don't know how it came about. But it's definitely been going for a long time.
All right, maybe
it's something that I can remember as long as forever. Back when we were in school too, it's St. John and Fairport. It's different. It's a different game. It's a similar feel to when we were in high school and we played Jefferson, or the way Lakeside laces up against Edgewood now. But the history is there, and you don't have the kids just buy into it. It's like as soon as you put these colors on, you're like, well, these colors are better than maroon and whatever color they wear. So,
it probably didn't help though. For football, probably 2 years ago, that when we beat them at their place, a flag was kind of planted in the middle of their field. So I mean, I'm sure that probably added to the
little fuel of that fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone threw a propane tank on that fire.
When I taught at Assumption, which was the feeder school to St. John, Fairport Harbor Week in football, they had Heralds versus Fairport Harbor in the hallway. I mean, that was ingrained in those kids when they were in elementary school. Dan Miller, who plays for you now, Coach, he was in my classroom when I taught at Assumption, and that was up there when he was there. So he was aware of that, going back to when he was at Assumption.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that question for Friday night, because if anyone knows that answer, it's Rock.
Oh, Nick Garrochi would definitely know it.
Yeah.
He will have instances. He will have
the numbers of why.
Time, dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's another. I think this is a great time. I mean, he's going to get plenty of shine on Friday, but I think this is a great time to talk about Nick Irochi too. Who, I mean, he really one of the most forward-thinking athletic departments in the county. St. John is. St. John has always, given coaches a shot, and you can't overlook the fact that this is I think it might be the only, or maybe the first. I know it's the only right now. Maybe the first all-black coaching staff in the county. So that's something, to be, that's something to be talked about. I think that's great. That's an achievement for this area, for this county.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, we don't know the total truth to that, but we'll find out.
It is. I've looked.
Is it? Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen Coop out there was watching the show. He had mentioned it, but I wasn't sure if it was the truth, so I didn't want to say anything. Stole my thunder. Thanks. Appreciate that. See how that works? Guys? Night in and night out, I got to deal with this crap. Anyway. So I'm gonna toss Tom into the mix here, because Tom's got his all-time favorite question.
Yep, you got to throw it out there, Tom.
So we're gonna just bamboozle him right into this one, and go ahead and ask your favorite question, however you want to ask it, Tom.
All right. So I ask a question every time to every coach here, and I think it'd be interesting for each of you guys to answer it. Seeing as you each are involved in the program in different levels as coaches. So whoever wants to go in any order, doesn't matter. But how do you guys implement analytics into your game plan, into halftime adjustments, into practice, anything? How big is the role of analytics played now versus like when you first started coaching? Do you use it? Yeah, take it.
I mean, honestly, for me, when I first started, I had some of the. I mean, Joe Pruger was big when it came to numbers. So he knew everything about about the opposing team what we were doing. Then I had John Hall Jr., who, I mean, he'll tell you, I mean, what kind of gum this person likes. Like, he knew his scouting reports were so down to the T, it was just insane. And it really helped us. It really helped us, because a lot of our kids at that time, they were more seasoned, so they understood when it came to this, what this kid likes to do, versus or how can we stop this kid from doing. We could stop that person from doing that. I think now I don't use it as much, only because sometimes I'm gonna be straight up. Sometimes I think it goes over their heads. I think it goes over some of my kids' heads. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons. But I mean, we make our adjustments just based on what we see. I normally have a feel to how the game is going, and if I see something that we can do differently, I'll definitely try. I'll look to my other coaches and I'll say, hey, you think we can do this? Because they're eating up this or whatever. They're doing whatever to this. And I have great coaches with great basketball knowledge that are able to say, you know what? Yeah, let's try this. Let's just kind of change the momentum of things. And I think knowing stats and numbers and percentages of what teams like to do, it does help for sure.
Absolutely.
One of the things that on last week's show, we had the Edgewood head coaches, John and Jay Bowler. And one of the things that Jay brought up is the fact that it's really a great time to be a coach, because information is so readily available for you guys. There is no more where, maybe you don't want to talk to this guy and get his film. So you can go on a site like Huddle, and you can check out this stuff. Or the limitations really have been brought up, taken off of you, and you, Coach Turner, as it's wonderful that you acknowledge the analytics and put it in your game. I don't think that you can ignore it, but for somebody like you who relies on feel. And that's also something that plays a lot into the game is the feel of the game and how players are playing. I think it's great that you take that and put that into your game as well.
Absolutely.
Say, Coach Yates, if you want to take that question about analytics, I don't know how you use them, whether you do or don't.
I think analytics are useful and important. If I was a GM, I'd be more Rob Pelinka than Daryl Morey. But I just think analytics are more valuable in different sports. I think it plays a major role in baseball. I think that's really key with analytics in that aspect. I think with basketball, I think some coaches you just have a feel and you can see the game and you can make your adjustments from there. But the numbers do play a role. But I mean, I usually think about all the great coaches before who never heard of analytics and see their success. I just kind of feel like you got to know your players, their heartbeat, see where the game is going, and then make the adjustments from there. And then you just know what your players can and can't do. But numbers are important, but I won't, slight anybody who does use them. But
right.
It's not on top of my list, but yeah.
Coach P?
I would say I would use the analytics as in like a player's strengths and weaknesses, as opposed to like how many times a series are you driving to go left? How many times are you driving to go right? Are you right-handed, but do you like to finish left? Are you left-handed? Do you like to finish with a right-hand floater? How do you use your skill? I mean, your strengths and your weaknesses. So I kind of trying to get these players to see a player's movements, see his his strengths, what his weaknesses, what does he like to do, what doesn't he like to do, what can't he do? If he can't go to his opposite hand, oh man, we're gonna make sure he can't get the ball past half court, because we want to lock that up ASAP. We say if he can't go left, but he's dominant with that dominant hand, then we'll go trap on that.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, I always thought too, because basketball is such an up-tempo sport. I mean, I guess there are some schools that, I was going to say, some schools. I found out this year there's no play clock in high school, correct?
No, there is not, unfortunately.
Yeah. So so I'll go two parts here. But one, I always wondered how difficult it must be to have your players recognize those situations. Like number 12 goes left 75% of the time, and then to remember that just seems very difficult to me. I know. Would you guys agree with that?
I think it is. I think it is now, and the reason why I think it is now is I think because, believe it or not a whole lot of guys watch basketball. Like
not younger guys either.
They don't watch it which is because when you're telling them like, hey, this guy can't go left or this guy only goes right or whatever, I mean, it might take it a minute to kind of click in so that they understand it. But like, I think it's just kind of come from like knowing the game. Like you have to know the game, you have to watch the game, you have to study the game in order to know like, all right, what's this player doing that's beating me so I can change what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was interesting on the fly. Like, and I agree with Devin. Baseball, much slower paced game. You got to the coach or the pitching coach can yell out and say, hey, outside on this guy the whole way. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But I had a second question, but I lost.
It's going to lend itself well to. I mean, typically, with most teams, I assume, first of all, if you're playing a team and they've got 8 superstar scorers, God bless you guys. It's going to be a tough night.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Most of the time, and obviously we're going to have to go to a different gym because there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But, most of the time, I think, in this area, you're looking forward to, 2 to 3 scorers, tops, 2 to 3 high octane scores. So it makes it a little bit easier, I would imagine, for these high schoolers to be like, listen, this is, number 17 for Jefferson, and he's going to cross over, go to the left, and hit a floater. That's what he's trying to do every time. So don't let him do that. Like,
Absolutely.
that allows that.
So when you guys ask about analytics, you think it's different than scouting, or you do put them together?
Together.
Okay.
I personally think it's the same thing. I think analytics has existed in basketball since 150,000 years ago when St. John was sending people all over, guys like Coach Nick Irochi with a notebook.
I think the analytics are used to then gather the best players for that certain situation. It's very diverse for me, but that's my opinion.
Right.
So, and then one, I don't know if it's the last question or not, but I really like this question, and I ask it to all the coaches because obviously, you guys, coaching isn't just to coach basketball. We all love, our particular sports, but I like to know what each and every one of your guys' favorite part of coaching is. And honestly, most coaches dive in and they say, help mold a kid and all that fun stuff. So, but I want to know each individual one for you guys, and we'll start over off it's a left side on my screen. But Marcus, if you want to tell me your favorite part of coaching.
Well, now that I'm coaching high school, it's a little different. When you coaching at the youth level, kids 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you really just teaching the fundamentals. Some kids are a little more advanced than the others, but at that time you're really still teaching fundamentals of the game. How to get open, spacing the floor, spreading the ball. But at the high school level, it's faster, so you can teach kids the game that you play. Like however coach wants to run it, that's how we're running the game. So that's what I love about it, man. It's different now. So my coaching career is transitioning as well as it's young. This is only my second season, coaching high school basketball. So right now it's a fun journey. That's my best part of it is teaching these kids that were juniors, that's seniors this year. Move a crossover behind the back. Something that they didn't have last year that they're doing now. Seeing that progress is like, can I say hell yeah? Because that's what you said.
Too late. You already said it, buddy. All right.
So, you see that? That's what I love about it.
All right. So we'll go over to Yates there in the middle.
I think two things that really stick out to me is developing the players, and you see the progress they make at the end of the season from where they start, and that bond and connection you have with them. Like I'll forever be connected, not to single anybody out. I love all my players, but like I'll always be connected to Ryan Bento and John Timonir. Like those two guys, they were the first kids I coached when I got into them. Like every time I see them, it's just like a celebration. Like great guys. I'm like I love that. And then it's just that, and then the last thing is it makes you realize how old you are and how out of touch you are with the culture. Because I thought I was hip, but no, I've been talking to these guys. I don't know what anything that's going on. So like, man, I don't listen to the same music. I don't know the dances. I don't know the lingo. It's crazy. So like, it just shows you like, wow, I'm getting old. So,
yep. All right, we'll move it over to head coach Curtis Turner.
I think honestly, like from the time I started in junior high to now me coaching high school, I think a lot has changed. Like when I first started out, like it was more of just like I just wanted to. I mean, the kids just ran and whatever. Like you kind of seen the things that you implemented. They were trying to do it, so like you've seen the kind of growth that way. But now since I've moved on, like through the coaching lines, and I'm up in varsity now. Like I think the growth of the players themselves, because I mean, any coach out there that knows and that's been coaching knows that you deal with so many different personalities when you're coaching that you have to be able to adjust. And I think when it comes to game planning, and then once that game plan actually works, they actually do what you. It's such a satisfying feeling.
Yeah, I'll bet it is. It's always fun, to watch it happen that way. You know what I mean? Especially you as a coach, knowing what you put in there is now working. Like it is genuinely working. Like they bought into the crap. Thank God. Yeah.
Hey, especially when you just draw up stuff and you're like, man, I don't think this is gonna work. And then when you actually see it work, like when it don't work, you just blame it on the assistant coaches. That
hey, that layup didn't work. Marcus, you said you were the offensive dude. What's up?
Hey, we said pointers, not layups. Devin talk about the touch. That's the layup.
Call it what you want. You said you were the offensive guy. Listen, any failures on the offensive side of the ball, I'm pointing my finger at you.
So my favorite question to kind of end my spiel with you guys is and if each one of you guys could kind of give your flavor on this take, what can people of Ashtabula and anybody else who's watching St. John basketball this year look forward to when they watch the Heralds take the court?
I mean, I think the one thing they can look forward to is that guys are going to come out and compete. Obviously, we want to win every game we play. I mean, I think that's every coach's goal. That's every player's goal is to win every game they play. So, I mean, I think we're going to compete. I think we're going to open like a few eyes. Like, I mean, because I think that because we have those two players out, I think a lot of people are now kind of sleeping on what we're able to do. And I think a lot of guys are going to sneak up on Ashtabula County this year. So, I mean, I'm definitely excited about that.
Yeah, and I want to send, from 440 and Goal as a whole, we want to send best wishes out to two really outstanding athletes and outstanding young men, and that is David DeSalvatore and David Fuentes, both of which are recovering from injuries. Those were guys that we called their name plenty this year. So I hope you guys, get better and get ready, maybe for spring sports or college or whatever's coming next. But, hopefully you guys all do better. I was really saddened to hear that I wasn't going to get to, we weren't going to get a chance to see him this year. So, and now Devin, what is your take on what we can look forward to when we look at Herald's basketball this year?
I mean, I keep it short and sweet. I just think I can agree with like all my coach staff right here is that you got three guys who really want the best for your kids, and we're really invested into them and beyond basketball and them just making the right decisions in their life and to learn from our mistakes and everything that we went through, especially, basketball, not taking it seriously, not working hard in practice, but just really giving them the best that we got and just wanting the best for them. And we just have that like care for these kids. So I'm going to give the emotional little touch. That's for me. In cursive.
hey, these kids might not know what cursive is, though. You're right. We'll let it go. Listen, I've seen some mighty fine chicken scratch over the past couple years.
Well, let me relate it to the younger. It's all caps then.
All caps. All right, Coach Marcus, go ahead, buddy.
I would say you. You're gonna, how Sammy, we used to go hooping, used to see them coaches like, man, these dudes again, man. We saying these dudes out here again. That's what it is with us, man. These kids are so young, they're gonna be playing for a while. You're gonna be like, dang, man, this dude's like a 50-year senior. Nah, only junior. You know what I mean? He still got a whole another year.
Yeah.
That man is the youth, and seeing their progression as they get older. The guys that sophomores now are the kid to be the first group that I'll have for 4 years. So, that progress is going to be dope. So the guys that's freshmen now, would put in a plan with them last season when they were, like Coach said, when they were in junior high school. So, they're just going to fall into the system as it goes. So, when we're playing with them, like, man, they got this dude again. Yeah, brother, we got that dude and that dude and that dude. One of them dudes might be his little cousin. So again, the youth is what a lot of Ashtabula County can see, man. And the guys that are seniors now, if unfortunately D-Sal and David Fuentes is out, but the senior guys that we got, you're gonna see them. They're gonna give it to you. They're hungry. They got to make up for guys that's gone. So,
as I say, it's a great opportunity for freshmen to step up.
Absolutely.
They want time on the court. This is their year for it. I'll tell you that.
And we got some talented freshmen, so expect them to be playing as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Well, I
right.
can tell you this: we are looking forward to St. John basketball this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun year. I'm gonna probably now, without the crowds to muffle my voice, I'm probably gonna have to learn to shut up myself.
I meant to ask, y'all got any dunkers?
Wait, they trying.
We got some in the making.
Yeah,
Need that little 2-foot round trampoline in front.
they're
Yeah.
trying. Yeah.
So our game, how we play and how they play is different. So, implementing our game into how they play is, is different for them. It's a transition. It's something that, they got to put work into. So, this year, next year, you'll see a St. John basketball you didn't see last couple of years. Like, man, they run now. They never ran. Okay.
Hey, before we go, can I shout somebody out?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out my old teammate John McCoy in the comments. He's doing this thing.
You do not want to do that. You want to talk about giving a dude a big head. You just swell up like you got helium put into it.
Yeah,
Macy's Day Parade head.
yes.
Well, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on here. It really means a lot to us, the rest of the community. So this is my sign off with you guys. Thank you so much. Looking forward to getting in there. Once practices start and we can figure out where we're going to get parked, get in there and cover some Herald's basketball this year. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
I love it. Thank you guys.
And
Keep up the good work, Herald's Nation, man. I'm really excited about the season coming up. We still got about 4 weeks though before anything really kicks off. So keep us up to date though. You know what I mean? You guys get some info. If you could drop it and send it to Sammy, me, or Tom, or send it to the 440 Goal Messenger, whatever it may be. Let us know what's going on. That way we can stay up to date with you guys. So
Yeah, we'll get our analytics department right on that. No, but we got you.
Harold's forever, man. Coach Curtis for president. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, hey, thanks guys for coming. I definitely appreciate it, chopping it up with you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. I wish you guys nothing but luck this year. I look forward to seeing Herald's basketball and seeing you guys not only as coaches but as molders of young men. Because as coaches, I mean, you're out there, you're teaching them how to play the game of basketball, but also as three fantastic men, you're out there helping mold them into images of leaders in the community, not just on the court. So definitely thank you for doing that, and a fantastic school system with fantastic leadership there. I can't wait to see what these kids do in the future, helping be molded by fine men like yourselves. So thank you from that aspect as well for developing the next leaders of basketball and beyond.
Thanks.
Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Okay.
all right, gentlemen, we'll get you guys out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. Have fun. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
We go, man. Is Big O playing basketball? If they have it, man, I got to see Big O out there, man.
Yeah, he'll be out there playing basketball. It'll probably be a mix of soccer and basketball, but we'll get it in.
That's Brian Scalabrine reincarnated. You didn't know?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, and I'm sure I'll be out there coaching, having a panic attack. But all right,
appreciate it.
No problem, man. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, that was Herald Nation there.
Yeah, it's really I can't wait to watch. I have got kind of a personal insider view on these guys on the Heralds just because my daughter being an 8th grader, I've got to see some of these kids they start cheering when they're in 6th grade. So I've gotten to see some of these high school kids, the younger versions, the 9th and 10th graders. I got to watch them kind of develop into basketball players. And St. John's got some special kids out there. It's going to be really fun to watch them. Another guy that we just kind of skipped over just through, talking all there. Jimmy Severino is a sophomore. You're going to want to keep an eye on. Kid's he keeps the ball on a string, the yo-yo master. It's going to be a cool year for this St. John Herald's team this year. I'm really looking forward to it. If we can ever get back into the gym.
Keep your fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything you can. So, all right, 9:49 is bedtime for me, folks. I'm excited about that. Nice, warm, toasty bed. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll see everyone Friday. Don't forget Mr. The Rock
That's right, baby.
is coming up on Friday night with girls varsity basketball at St. John. So let's keep rocking Herald's Week with those the kids, Herald's Nation, and we'll see everybody Friday.
All right, hey, see you guys later. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you Friday.
Hashtag Heralds.
Hashtag Herald. Deuces.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam right in time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spend it with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.